And hello, everyone. We are live, or hopefully we should be. We'll hang out for a few, see who pops in. Who doesn't pop in? If anybody pops in. Hey, Fred, how's it going? I meant to do this over the weekend, but starting about Friday evening, I just started feeling terrible. Not really quite sure what it was, but it happens. Feel much better today. Don't know if I ate some or just, hey, whatever. Could have been worse. It's kind of wiped me out for a couple of days. I got my audio problems fixed on my other screens. So we'll wait for a few minutes and then check on that. Other than that, ain't nothing else going on around here. It is same stuff, different day around this place, always. But that's okay. Kind of know what to expect. So far, I think it's just you and me. No big deal. Now, can't talk. I scheduled this one. Did you get a notification that I was coming on at 6? Kind of confused me a little bit because I haven't done one. Okay, good. Yeah, I got a notification for yours for Wednesday. So I sent you an email on put yourself in a little frame if you want to, real simply. Hey, up to you. Just something to do. The more you dive into OBS, the more you find it's an endless pit. It's a rabbit hole to jump down. It's like you see something, you watch a video, it's like, oh, let me try that. That was a little more difficult than I thought. Some of the stuff I do, I'm using plugins for. There's a few that are kind of the standard ones that everybody grabs. Yeah, there's a bunch of countdown timers. And those are really nothing but Lua scripts. There's actually one that comes with OBS, but you can find all kinds of Lua scripts to download. If you look in the like in the plugin section on OBS Project, there's a script section in there too that has all kinds of stuff all kinds of fancy. In fact, I use one of the extra Lua script timers to swap from my starting soon screen to this actual live screen here. Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day. I'm lucky that I have time to sit there and explore all this stuff. Understand why people who are working end up staying up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I used to do that too, just playing with, not playing games even, just playing with this, playing with that, seeing what piece of software works. But my problem was when I worked second shift was getting home at midnight, and next thing I know it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm either playing a game or playing with this piece of software for whatever. So it's easy to do. So let's jump around some. Let's see. That screen we've already seen. I've just got Video Ninja pulled up over there. That's just my share screen. My share screen the other direction. Now, this is one of the ones we had problems with the other day with audio, so the audio should be fixed. This is where I would pull in single guess into a window. One of the things I'm going to do with Touch Portal is create something that just kind of shuffles all these windows around. So you'd be all sitting here talking, and I could push a button, and all of a sudden everybody would shuffle all around on the screen. It's dangerous to let me loose with this stuff. And then this one should be working much better than it was the other day. Got everything put into it that I wanted to. And this and the newsroom scene, they both use a plugin called StreamFX to create the 3D effects for your two screens. It's actually lets you pin the corners of the picture, so you get your overlay, and then you just pin the corners into the screen in the overlay picture, and boom, you're good to go. So hopefully we should have sound on all of these. And again, the long picture is a backdrop of Atlanta, and the other one is just a slideshow of a bunch of pictures I have that, again, I have no idea where they came from. Okay, cool. So yay, I fixed my sound problems. Kind of knew what it was. There is a green screen plugin for OBS. Works okay. Just look online for just a green screen sheet. It's just literally a sheet. Or if you know how to dye stuff, you can find that color dye and just take a white sheet and dye it yourself. It doesn't, the thing is, you might even be able to use, the thing they use that really obnoxious green color is because it usually doesn't match anything else in any picture. Okay, if you find a picture that has that color in it, it's going to wipe that out too. But normally you don't see that color around. So, I mean, you could use a white sheet and tell it to color chroma key on the white, but then anything white in the picture or on you or anything else. If you think about it, you never see somebody on the news doing the weather with a green shirt or a green dress on if it's a female, because they will blend in because they're standing in front of a green screen. They can't see that weather map behind them. They have no idea what they're looking at. So yeah, you will never see a weather person with green on. In fact, they were talking about that on one of the news programs the other day, right after St. Patrick's Day. The lady was talking about, I never get to wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Anyway. So yeah, you don't have to spend a lot on a green screen. It can literally be a sheet that you dye green, or one that you find that's that color. And again, it doesn't even have to be that particular shade, because in OBS you can have it match to a screen color. And then you're using a chroma key filter on your camera, and then that chroma key gets the color that you're keying out. So if it's a slightly off green, if you already have it being projected behind you, if you already have it behind you, you can just, on OBS, you can tell it to pick screen color and grab that screen color. And again, in the chroma key filter, there's adjustments on how sensitive it is, how closely it wants to match that color. So if you're off a little bit, you can usually work it out. Like, I just didn't throw it on mine and it worked. I had to play with it a little bit to get it to come out nice. So, and then you just transition between the scenes. There's an endless amount of stuff you can do. These sliders in the bottom are what they call lower thirds. It's a lower thirds plugin. It is a little bit complicated to get figured out. But once you do, it's one of those things that doesn't make any sense whatsoever until it suddenly clicks, and then it's like, oh, that wasn't really that hard. But it took me a while to figure it out. And there's lots of tutorials on it on YouTube also. Anyway. As usual, I can talk about this stuff forever. But it's what I found out, what works for me. You can spend $400 or $500 on a super nice screen. I have one that it's just like a projector screen. I have it mounted in my ceiling because I'm in my man cave down in the basement. I don't have a ceiling here, so I just have rafters above me. And I just mounted it up there and pulled it down. It's just like a projector screen. I didn't really spend that much on it. I want to say it was $50, $53. I need to lower it a little bit so I can go a little bit below where I am. But I just got to put a block of wood under because I just have it screwed into the rafter with an eye hook. Doesn't really have to be complicated. And you don't have to spend a lot. Yeah, I have some lights, but I only spent, I think, $40 on those, maybe even less than that. I want to say less than that, maybe 25. They were cheapies, that's why they're not all that good, but I needed some extra light, so. I'll buy the cheap stuff first to see if it's going to actually work, but this works pretty good. Like a very unbalanced light in this room during the day. At night, of course not, but there's a window and a door on one side of me to this side of me. There's a window and a door over here that gets morning and early day sunlight. So I needed at least one light to balance that light out. These came as a pair, so I was like, okay. So I was like, 120, no. Yeah, we'll see what these do. If they're no good, they can become grow lights somewhere, whatever. because they're just USB lights. You can plug them into like a wall wart to charge them, or you don't charge them. You have to plug them in that way, or you plug them into USB on your PC or on a hub or something like that. I just have them plugged into an extension cord. Again, stuff doesn't really have to be all that complicated. Yeah, I got a good PC. I do have a good webcam, but on my webcam, I have 2 decent digital cameras. Neither one of them will do video, but only in 720. Okay, and it takes really good pictures. I have another Canon EOS Rebel, one of the first models they came out with. That still takes very good pictures. So I did not need to spend money on a camera that could do video and everything else. So I went the other route and spent a decent amount of money on a really good webcam, because again, I could use my phone if I wanted to, but I wanted something that would be set and work well. So, but I have an AverMedia PW513. I think they've come to, I'm not sure how much they are now. When I bought it, it was just under $250, which for a webcam is ridiculous, but it will do 4K. It does really good video. I can do effects with it without any, the software that came with it. I can do background effects and all kinds of stuff with it. So yes, it was expensive, but you can't buy a digital camera for that much for something I didn't need. So I kind of had a niche market of wanting to have a really good webcam. So I have a couple from work, and they're actually really good too. I have a C920 also that I've had for years and years and years, and that thing just keeps running and running. So I collect equipment. People give me stuff. One of my bosses at work was leaving. He was retiring. This was quite a few years ago. And he brought me a box of cables and said, do something with this. He said, I don't care if you throw it away. There were some really good cables in there. Most of it I threw away. But there was a couple gems in there. You never know. I have to go through and get rid of stuff every so often. Luckily, we have a place right outside the perimeter that will do electronic recycling, Delta Electronics. They actually have a dumpster outside recycling. You can just dump all kinds of stuff in it. I always have a box of stuff that is destined for a ride down there. In fact, I've got a full box right now that needs to go down there. An almost full box. I'm sure I can find some stuff to go in it. I got a dead video card that needs to go in it. Enough of that. I keep finding boxes underneath stuff that, like, oh, what's in here? Oh, look at that. A USB 1.1 USB hub. Actually did find one of those. I find all kinds of stuff. We used to find all kinds of stuff at work too. Technicians would come in and have some piece of junk they wanted to get rid of, and it would somehow get left on our cart. And sometimes they'd leave good stuff too, though. But usually I had to give that back. One time, a long time ago, before I even went in the military, I was working in this place converting rolls of lithograph paper down. And this truck came to get a pickup one Friday afternoon. And the rest of his truck was full of Harley Davidson motorcycles. And he had to unload a couple of them to get our paper in. And he forgot one of them when he left. And we walked back on the dock to lock up, and it was like, do we call him or not? But he was one of our good guys that used to, but he would have known where it was anyway. He would have remembered where he left it. But we were like, ooh, it's Friday. We can't do that. We were thinking about it, though. But we would have fought over who kept it, so. But yeah, we walked back there to lock the back door and make sure to turn the alarm on, and turned around and, oh look, a brand new Harley Davidson still in the crate. Nah, we can't do that. There may have been a couple of the drivers that used to come to us that we would have done that to, but we wouldn't have done that to him. He was too good of a guy. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I think I proved that everything worked. Got some more playing with Touch Portal to do. So I will talk to you all later and catch y'all next time. Hopefully I'll be doing this sooner than later, and I won't say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then wake up and feel like crap. Like I said, stuff happens. Feeling better. So we will talk to y'all later. Have a good one.